This is Dr. Tanya. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tanya. We're going to do life together. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello and welcome to another episode of Talk to Tanya, and I am your host, Dr. Tanya, but since we're family, right? You can call me Tanya on this platform. This is the show where conversations inspire purpose, uplift communities, educate, and remind us that every life has meaning. Before we begin this show tonight, I just got to slow it down just a little bit and say thank you. Thank you so very, very much for allowing me in your home this evening. I do not take it for granted. I really do not. When I see you out in the marketplace, or if you're coming up to me and just saying, hey, I watch your show, you have no idea what that does for me. It has absolutely nothing to do with ego. You know how we do it on this show, honey. We ain't got no egos here. But it is refreshing, and it's encouraging, because you never know what someone's going through, and your smile can really make a difference in their lives, and you've made a difference in mine. So I do not take it lightly or for granted that you're here. Okay. Those who are launching their ideas into the marketplace, this show is for you. Those who use their imaginations that are so wild and vividly and just believe that they can do what they put their minds to, this show is for you. Those that are broken into pieces, been there, this show is for you. Those that believe, you know what, I've tried it, can't do it, I've tried it, I can't do it, I tried it. Well, guess what? This show is exactly for you, because everything that you've gone through, honestly, especially wanting to give up, you're looking at a girl that wanted to give up. How about that? But what I've learned and what I've discovered is something about having people in your life that will speak life into your dead situation. People that will encourage you and motivate you to get out of your way. People that will hold your ladder. People that will encourage you to tell you what you can do versus what you can't. Those are the people that I've been so gratefully and eternally blessed with to have in my life. And if you stop to think, you probably got that in your life too, right? Or maybe you are a ladder holder. Thank you for being there for your friend. Thank you for saying yes to life once again. Thank you for believing that you can do it because you put your mind to it. Yeah, man, that's what this show is about. So again, your being here is like a dream. You know my story. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and little black girls back in the day couldn't dream of anything like this, let alone going to med school, right, and becoming a doctor. Girl, please. But God, right? So anything you put your mind to, you can do it. If your babies come to you and say, Mommy, I want to go to medical school, or if I want to go to veterinarian school, how about that? Believe them, push them, guide them, put them in the right situation so that they can see their dreams come true. Now, tonight on the show, we're facing a conversation many avoid, but one that could save your life. Cancer. What if early detection could change everything? What should you actually be looking out for? And how can our community come together to fight back? See, cancer doesn't discriminate. It touches families, communities, and generations. And if you know anything about my story, this year I am 35 years cancer-free. October the 26th, as a matter of fact. And I do not take that lightly or for granted. And once upon a time I did. I still don't know why, but I do know who I was able to have some of the best doctors, and we did exactly what, you know, was told of us. But I also knew that prayer was a lot of what I had to hold on to as well. See, the doctors have knowledge. Now, don't discount your doctors. Go on to your doctors. He's going to heal you the way he wants to heal you. He may heal you on the other side of it. He may make you whole on the other side. But the thing is to trust and to believe and to get out of your way and to make certain that you are with your doctor, following the plans, okay, of treatment that they have for you. Many lives can be impacted, not just by treatment, detection and awareness. I need you to stay with me, because when we return, we're going to sit down with a consultant general surgeon. Yeah, man, Dr. Tamara, I better say that right, Ribby. Oh my God, and you're not going to want to miss this. She's on the front lines of cancer awareness and having been a vocal part of the community. She has a remarkable story of what she gets to do every single day and has been doing it for a while. So this is what I need you to do, man. Go on and get your cocoa tea. Go get your bake. Yeah, man. Go get your saltfish. Or, you know, the doctor's in the house, so go get you a healthy snack. But I need you to come on back, because we are going to peel back the layers. We're going to glean from her. Get your notepad and your pencil and take some copious notes. And if you find yourself in this stage of your life, then this is the show, this is the episode that you're going to want to stay tuned. How about that? Yeah? All right. Go get your stuff. Come on back. All right. Thank you. Early detection isn't just medical, it's life-saving.
Get ready for Relay for Life St. Lucia 2026. Once again, St. Lucia Cancer Society is bringing this community event to the VG Field on March 28, 2026 from 2 to 8 p.m. Gather your team, choose your team color and outfit, and come walk or run against cancer. Remember, it's not a race, but rather taking a stand against a disease that has affected every one of us. Cancer does not sleep, and neither do we. Join us for the first lap, where we celebrate our survivors, the candlelight ceremony at dusk, where we remember loved ones lost to cancer, and the closing ceremony, where we pledge to continue to fight. Registration $15, $10 for students. Children under 5 walk for free. See you there. Call us at 452-1538 or 461-1538, or email us at stluciacancersociety@gmail.com for registration and details. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more information. The St. Lucia Cancer Society Relay for Life 2026.
You caught me in the middle of conversation. All right, I am so honored to introduce our guest tonight, Consultant General Surgeon, Dr. Oh God, please let me say her name right, Tamara. Yeah?
You got it right.
Really? Based at Tapion Hospital here in St. Lucia. She's not only serving patients on the front lines, but she's also leading the charge in cancer awareness through community initiatives like the annual Cancer Run Walk, which will be held tomorrow right here on the island, man. Dr. Remy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God! I feel like I've been in the throes already with my long-lost girlfriend. Man.
I know.
Oh my gosh. You know, people really do talk really good about you behind your back, okay?
Thanks for telling me.
Please know that.
Thank you.
So I think it was our girl, Suzette Kistner, that said, My Dr. Remy? I said, yes, ma'am. Oh, I love her. She's so tall and beautiful. Linda said, you got to have her on the show, Doc. You got to have her on the show.
Linda is one of, my favorite people.
Is she really?
Yes,
Mine
she
too.
is.
Oh,
Yes.
my God. Linda tells it like it is, doesn't she?
Yes, definitely.
I think that's what I love about her so much, right?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Tell us about your journey into medicine and what led you to become a surgeon.
Okay.
I know, right?
So, I think from as far back as I can remember, maybe when I was 4 or 5. So my dad's a doctor, a physician.
wow.
He's
Okay.
an ophthalmologist, but at that time he was a general practitioner.
Okay.
And I remember wanting to always go get that doctor's bag
Come
when people
on.
would come to
Come
the
on.
house.
Yeah, man.
And I have never thought of doing anything else other than being a doctor. So for me, compared to young people of today,
Yeah.
back in the 1980s,
Come on now.
you know, just making my age known here, there was a very straight path to becoming a doctor.
Okay.
You had to go to a certain secondary school. You had to go to, when you reached Form 4, a particular class that
Okay.
did sciences, where you only had 2 choices in terms of subjects that you
Wow.
picked. You had to go to the A-level college, and you know, after that, it was university. So there was very little room for uncertainty. Your choice was whether you wanted to stay in the region, go to University of the West Indies, versus going to, one of the first world countries.
For sure.
I've always seen myself as a Caribbean person.
Come
So
on.
UE was always going to be my first choice.
Good.
So my parents met at UE in
No.
Jamaica. So I always heard these stories about UE and Mona, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's my first choice.
Yeah.
So even though I got into school in the United States, I opted to go to UE.
Wow.
Med school for me was mixed with playing sports. So I played
Yeah.
volleyball, I played netball.
Come on.
And that was always my balance. And then when I remember in 3rd year, doing rotations,
Yeah.
clinical rotations.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah.
you're very
Oh,
familiar with
yeah.
those. And for me, surgery was easy. It was,
Really?
can I fix it or
Okay.
can I not fix it?
Wow.
And for me, having that mindset and being able to just make that decision, I think has, in a lot of ways, sculpted my personality.
Aye.
So people who knew me before I went away to school,
Okay.
just I think consider me being very calm, very cool,
Yeah.
very
That's,
laid back.
You walked in through the door, and I'm like,
But when I was in
wow.
school, it was all just let's get to it. Like you have to be decisive. You
Yeah,
can't
you
be
do.
sitting on the
Yeah, you
fence.
do.
And
Absolutely.
then and then so when I decided I wanted to do surgery, people thought I was crazy because back then it still is a male-dominated
Come
field.
on. Yep.
And there were few females. And I think when I started, it was the first time that they accepted more than 4 or 5 females in one cycle. And so we had a lot to prove.
For sure.
That group of us.
Yeah.
And we were determined if the post-grad period was 5 years, we were completing everything in 5 years. There was no
guys, come
repeating
on.
exams or
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that. And that's exactly kind of what we did. So surgery has always been a passion.
Wow.
I like the turnover that
Okay.
you come, we decide if we can fix it or
Yep.
not, we make a decision. It's a dynamic thing,
sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
It's long hours.
Yes,
it's long
it is. Yes, it is.
but that's the advantage. It prepared me for motherhood because
now.
waking up at every 2 hours,
All
I'm
right.
like, oh, okay, I've got this. But it's always been what I've wanted to do.
Wow.
Definitely medicine, and from the time I discovered the rotational surgery, it's always
my
been what I've wanted to do.
Wow. How
Yeah.
about that? Talk about knowing what you were born to do, right?
Yes, definitely.
So your role as a consultant general surgeon involved, what does that look like on a daily basis?
Well, it's changed over the last year or so
Okay.
because I am now only in private practice.
Aye.
Prior to that, I spent a lot of my time in the public service. So when I came back to St. Lucia, after working in Antigua for 3 years, after completing my studies, I worked at Victoria Hospital and then
wow.
when we moved to MHMC or Owen King Hospital.
Okay.
I had a 3-year-old by the time I came back home.
No.
And I think the hours that I kept, she's definitely made up her mind she does not want to be a doctor. right? So that's
You sold me the idea. Oh my God.
It's hard. It's hard as a female. It's hard as a mother.
For sure.
The good thing though about being in the Caribbean is that it's not as hard as it could have been had I been perhaps in the United States.
Gotcha.
I get to see the sunrise, I get to see the sunset, I get to be a mommy,
Come
even
on.
though I spend all my hours at the hospital.
Yes.
But more so, it allows me in St. Lucia to give back. I think that's mainly the reason why I had always decided that I wanted to come back home.
Wow.
So, and you know, my friends laugh and I say, maybe I came home 10 years too early.
Yeah.
But I think wanting to contribute and wanting to help to change and influence the healthcare system, especially the public system, has always been something that's been close to my heart. So, you know, for the young women out there who want to choose a path of surgery,
For sure.
understand that you're going to have to give up a lot of things. I don't believe that there's in this or
Thank
30,
you for
30,
saying
30.
that. No.
I think at different times in your life, you will have to choose what your priorities are going to be. But being a surgeon, I think you get to see different aspects of things.
For sure.
So you get to have the hands-on management of a patient, but you also get to hear their stories. You get to decide, well, how can it's not necessarily that different to the other specialties.
For sure.
But what's the patient saying to me that I can probably try to influence?
For sure.
And if I have that information as, I guess you can call it as the advocate,
Come on.
then I'm also part of the healthcare system. So I think I have a responsibility to also be part of that, to effect change and to improve it.
Wow.
So for me, you know, on the day-to-day, I love my patients.
I bet you do. Wow.
The ability in my office to spend time compared to in the public sector where, you know, you have a clinic that's over 4 hours, you have 40 patients to see. You try as much as possible to get, you know, all the information to do everything. But in my office now, I can spend that time, and you can, at a much better, in a much better way, deliver the standard of care that we've been trained to deliver, and more or less try to influence things. And you can probably do it a little bit better when you're outside of the system.
For sure.
Yeah?
Absolutely. That's what you're doing.
I'm trying to.
You're affecting change. You're an agent of change.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
For sure.
How often are you encountering cancer-related cases in your practice?
Most people, so as you very correctly said, I'm a general surgeon, and I'm not sure that phrase still exists in, for example, the United States.
Okay.
I think in the United States, a lot more subspecialization has happened.
Internal medicine.
But exactly, and even in surgery, there is the gastrointestinal, there is the minimal invasive, you know, like every aspect of the body, there is that specialty. It doesn't necessarily make that much sense in our small islands because you really still have to be able to do a little bit of everything. So even though I am a general surgeon, I think the bulk of my practice actually is breast. So whether it's breast cancer diagnosis or just breast disease. So in order to answer your question, breast and breast cancer I see a lot of on a daily / weekly basis. Even though I am trained in colorectal, in any other kind of cancer, stomach cancer, etc., I think people don't necessarily remember that I do that as well. That's okay. That's okay. I like dealing with breast and breast diseases, the educational part. You know, I like having the conversation with my teenagers, you know, to get them comfortable to be able to do the breast exams, etc. So I have been seeing a lot of whether it's pre-malignant or malignancies in my practice. So that's really a lot of what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Why is cancer awareness such a critical part of your work? Why do you believe that it's so critical?
I don't like having to deal with breast cancer. And cancer. And when I say I don't like, because in a lot of cases, things could have been done that patients may not have developed breast cancer.
Okay.
And in a lot more cases, patients who have breast cancer, had they known more,
For sure.
would have been diagnosed earlier.
Aye.
And for me, the early diagnosis is equivalent to better outcomes in terms of survival,
For sure.
less treatments,
Okay.
and all of the side effects, all of the psychological effects that go with just a diagnosis of cancer.
For sure.
So we deal with the patient, we deal with their support systems, we deal with the fact that they have kids, they have partners, they have families. So it's really far-reaching. And I think as much as, and I say this to my patients, you know, I've had 30-something-year-old women who have 4 children, who have breastfed, who are vegetarian, who exercise, who do everything that they're supposed to do, and they have breast cancer, and they come to you and go, well, what did I not do?
Wow.
Why me? Like, what was I supposed to do differently? And, you know, for those patients, I say, well, you should rest assured that you've done your best. It's a different plan.
For sure.
That plan had nothing to do with you. But then you have the other patient who will sit and be like, boy, I should have, or maybe had I done this, I might not have gotten.
For sure.
So for me, educating people so that we're dealing with prevention.
Okay.
We're dealing with earlier diagnosis and screening. To me, it's a win-win situation so that we don't have to be sitting in my office where I'm saying to you, you have cancer, or you have advanced cancer.
For sure.
You may probably have to travel outside of St. Lucia or the region to get treatment because of the stage that you're at. Or you may have to be preparing yourself that, you know, there's not that much that can actually be done. So I don't like that part of the conversation, especially if there are things that we could probably do that prevent us from having to get there.
Gotcha.
So it's really important to me that we are aware, that we dispel a lot of the maybe cultural myths that delay persons coming to the doctor or even seeking medical attention. So it's very, I think it's like the basis, the preventative, and that just the conversation about cancer just needs to be a little bit more open.
Absolutely.
And easier.
Absolutely. I'm going to jump around just a little bit because I'm going to pick your brain this evening. What inspired the Cancer Walk Run initiative?
So actually, our Relay for Life is not new to the world, actually. I'm trying to remember what it was that I was doing when I heard about Relay for Life. It's actually an American Cancer Society initiative.
Relay for Life.
It is, yes, which began maybe 30 years ago, where a surgeon, colorectal surgeon, decided that he was going to do a walk to raise funds for patients. And he walked for 24 hours by himself and raised 27,000 US dollars.
Come on.
Exactly.
I'd do that for that amount.
And the rest is kind of history. So at the Cancer Society, you know, we see activities that are almost the same all the time. Walks, we see, you know, just the same old. And I was like, you know, we need to probably try to get an engagement that makes us a little bit different, but where you can get everything in one sitting. So it's something that we are new to, actually. But it's something that I think if you ever experience it, that you want to come back and do it again. And so while it's a learning experience for us, I think it embodies and matches up really, really closely with what we are about at the Cancer Society, which is, I mean, the ultimate goal is to try, and I put try first, to eradicate cancer in St. Lucia.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a huge task.
For sure.
But we mix that with the prevention, the advocacy, the fundraising, the support, and all of those things that we try to deliver in one. It is. And it is community driven. It is supposed to be volunteer led.
For sure.
So at the moment, you know, those of us on the board and working in the office are the ones really pushing for it. But the more volunteers that you actually get, then you realize because they're so interested, they're actually the ones who are pushing for the event. So yes, so it's really something that we have started. We've signed a license agreement actually with the American Cancer Society. With 3 or 4 other Caribbean islands who have taken part in this. In fact, when I was a student in Jamaica, my best friend was like, we need to go do this walk. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, because her mom had been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Okay.
And I had no idea that that was a relay for life. And we walked for like the 12 hours in the park.
Oh my gosh.
And in retrospect, I'm like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah,
okay.
man.
So
Look
we're
at
starting
you.
off
Look at you.
with our 6 hours and
Oh
hoping
my
to
gosh.
grow to have
It
this
will.
for 12 hours. I'm really hoping that
ma'am.
it will.
It better.
Exactly.
You hear that, right? That's her call to action for now.
Yes, definitely.
All right. He's already called for a break. That gummit. When we come back, we're diving into what every person needs to know about cancer, early signs, risks, and what to look out for. I need you to stay with us. Keep snacking on your healthy snack. We got the doctor in the house, and we'll be right back.
Get ready for Relay for Life St. Lucia 2026. Once again, St. Lucia Cancer Society is bringing this community event to the VG Field on March 28, 2026 from 2 to 8 p.m. Gather your team, choose your team color and outfit, and come walk or run against cancer. Remember, it's not a race, but rather taking a stand against a disease that has affected every one of us. Cancer does not sleep, and neither do we. Join us for the first lap where we celebrate our survivors, the candlelight ceremony at dusk where we remember loved ones lost to cancer, and the closing ceremony where we pledge to continue to fight. Registration $15, $10 for students. Children under 5 walk for free. See you there. Call us at 452-1538 or 461-1538 or email us at stluciacancersociety@gmail.com for registration and details. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more information. The St. Lucia Cancer Society Relay for Life 2026.
What you ignore could cost you. What you catch early could save you.
I'm on social media. How about that? I was just actually engaging with a gentleman by the name of Trevor Lawrence, who is watching us all the way from London, England. How about that? Trevor, thank you so much for being here. And of course, we're on TikTok Live, and I wish I could see who you are. You're here. Okay. Dr. Tamara. I know, I'm just going to run it to the ground.
I know, right?
What are the most common types of cancer you're seeing in St. Lucia right now? You mentioned that you are seeing breast cancer. Other cancers that you're seeing, whether it be man or woman, that you're seeing?
So the top 5 cancers are prostate cancer.
Okay.
As I mentioned, breast cancer.
Yes.
Cervical cancer, surprisingly skin cancer.
Aye.
But for most registries and research centers, we don't speak too much about skin cancers, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
So apart from the malignant melanoma, which is not very common in St. Lucia.
Really?
Right. But the basal cell and the squamous cell, which usually present as a mole, something, very sinister, very, innocent looking.
For sure.
Once you remove it and you clear around it with normal skin, then usually that's all you need.
Okay.
So it's not really considered one of those life-threatening cancers. So even though we are seeing, and skin cancers are pretty high up there in terms of incidence in St. Lucia.
For sure.
We kind of park it on a side and exclude it from our figures.
Sure.
So breast, prostate, cervical, colon.
Gotcha.
Those are our top ones. So breast and prostate have been competing. Which one is number 1, which one is number 2.
Okay.
And even though it is most common in terms of the prostate cancer, the consequences, the effects, and how our survival is affected by that is probably more significant with breast cancer.
Gotcha.
Okay, so as we know, a lot of males, as they get older, their prostate gets enlarged, and things start happening with the prostate.
For sure.
A lot of patients who are older will actually have prostate cancer, but it may not present with a lot of signs and symptoms.
Okay.
And so 70 and 80-year-olds who may have been diagnosed with prostate cancer may actually die from something else, and the prostate cancer is just found incidentally.
Huh.
Okay?
Okay.
That's different to 45, 50-year-old males who develop prostate cancer. Their cancer is usually more aggressive with a lot more signs and symptoms.
Okay.
Breast cancer will kill you if it's not treated.
For sure.
So that's a very big difference between prostate and breast. So as I said before, you may have the prostate cancer, especially in older men.
For
it
sure.
may not be the thing that kills you.
Okay.
But breast cancer, untreated, will likely kill you. We're also seeing that, you know, maybe 10 years ago, that cervical cancer was not as common or not there as much, and it seems to be showing its face again, which is a little disappointing because the pap smear was the first screening tool that was actually described, right?
Right.
And HPV is a virus which is sexually transmitted. A lot of us are exposed to HPV, but our body gets rid of it on its own.
Okay.
So there are certain strains of HPV which are linked to cervical cancer, but it takes a while before you actually get cervical cancer. So if you've been doing your pap smears, we should be seeing those changes to the cervix which are precancerous.
For sure.
So if you wait 5 to 10 years and you haven't done your pap smear, then you would have missed all of those changes that we could have treated that would have prevented you. So WHO, PAHO, a lot of these governing bodies in health have launched this campaign on eliminating cervical cancer, because there's really no reason why a woman now in our 21st century should die of cervical cancer.
Wow.
When you have the vaccine available, when you have pap smears available, when there's a lot of treatment for the precancerous, there's really no acceptable reason why women are still dying from cervical cancer. Okay? Colon cancer, we hear about all the time, that, you know, we would have started screening at the age of 50 for most people. We're now looking at starting screening a little earlier, between 40 and 45, because it seems to be popping up more and more in younger and younger males and females.
Wow.
So the good thing again is that with each of these, there are established screening tools. And the word screening means we look for things before you start getting the signs and symptoms. So I say to my patients, you know, a lot of us rush to the doctor. I want to get my blood test done to make sure I'm not getting diabetes. You know, we're checking the sugar and the HbA1c without any hesitation. We're checking the cholesterol, we're doing the blood pressure checks. The same thing with cancers. You know, you need to do your mammogram, you need to do your breast exam, you need to do your rectal exam for the man, you need to do your PSA. These are all screening tools.
For sure.
The good thing in St. Lucia is that we've recognized that these are the top 4 or 5 cancers, and Universal Healthcare has come on board where they're now offering a lot more free screening for the top 4 cancers in St. Lucia, available at the health centers and wellness centers. So it's a really good step in the right direction. We need to continue working on that, because once you've been diagnosed, though, the pathways, the cost, all of those things, that's where a lot of the money actually comes in. So yes, definitely.
Wow. Family, you're taking copious notes, right? All right, now I need you to do that. Why do people often come in too late? Ouch. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good we're having a conversation, because people don't like the C word. It's I would like to say the pink elephant, but then, you know, it's the white elephant in the room.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any St. Lucian who does not know of another St. Lucian who has had cancer.
Absolutely.
So we need to address that because of several things. One, we don't have that open conversation, so that people are unaware that these are the signs and symptoms that they can look out for. A lot of them are quite visible. Some of them, like with colon, etc., you may not, right? Sure. But we need to dispel a lot of what it is that we have grown up with. Okay. That if you have blood in your stool or you're passing blood through the back end, that it's piles. Everything is piles. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Or if you have discomfort in your stomach, that is gas. Ouch. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So these may be, they may be gas. Okay. And it may be because of piles. For sure. But definitely could be because of something else. Absolutely. So we're self-diagnosing and, you know, looking at the things that are not the big C word as the cause without getting them checked out. We need to also dispel the thought that if you're 20-something or 30-something, if you have a lump, it's not cancer. I mean, it can't be cancer. It must be something else. Right. It's a cyst or something else. No, but you need to check it out. For sure. Okay, so we need to also get rid of the notion that putting a finger up the bottom is, you know, an invasion of privacy. Come on. There's a lot of things that are not acceptable. You know, I think we'll eventually move away from doing that and just using the PSA, which is a blood test. But the urologist or the general practitioner who's, you know, trained to do that would also be able to feel if there's an abnormality of the prostate. Absolutely. Okay, so we're on our phones Googling a lot of other things, but we're not looking for those things. Right. And we're afraid. I think a lot of people are just afraid. And when we speak to, certainly when I speak to a lot of my patients who've presented late, they will say, boy doc, you know, back then I kind of figured, but I just didn't want to. So that fear, you believe, is really kind of... Definitely. Wow. Definitely. I also have to mention that, you know, I'm on programs, especially in the month of October, which I don't like because breast cancer happens the other 11 months of the year. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. So, you know, when October comes, I'm like, don't call me. I don't want to come and talk because it's like packing everything into October, and as soon as October 31st comes, there's just no mention until October again. Right. But we really need to be aware of all of the things, not just breast cancer, that there's a cancer for every organ. We need to have the conversation all year round. Cancer conversations need to be like talking about our hair, our nails, you know, the things that we are comfortable with. Right. So I also am aware that being on the shows, I'm perhaps not even getting to a lot of people who don't watch these shows. Right. A lot of persons who are not understanding anything that I'm saying, even though I practice and think that when I speak that I'm communicating okay. And you are. But I cannot even speak patois to save my life. So, you know, I am already not reaching a certain percentage of the population. Demographic, persons may not on a Friday night know that your show is on, or that something else, right? All that social media for nothing. Exactly. And that's the population that's not on social media. How do we get to them? All the persons who are not on the radio, on the TV, like how are we getting into those communities to address those same things we're talking about, the cultural beliefs that if I eat something, it will disappear. If I put something on it, it will disappear, or I just don't want to touch it. So, I mean, I was really, I think it was last year, I was shocked. I was feeling like, why am I doing all of this? Because a young patient came to me and she was saying, you know, I've been diagnosed for a year now. I've only been able to get 2 or 3 of my sessions and my cycles for chemotherapy, and that's because each one costs how much ever it costs, and you know, I've had some financial difficulties. And I said, do you know that you can access all of this in the public sector? She's like, what? And at that point, I was a bit taken aback because maybe I'm having the conversation about signs, symptoms, all of these things, but I'm not having the conversation that some people need to hear, which is what's available. Absolutely. Where can you access? Absolutely. Is it affordable? Dispel even those fears that if you go into the public sector, that you're not going to get the good treatment as if you're getting to the private. You hear that so much. Exactly. And I actually take offense to that when my patients say that, because it's a reflection, I think, on us doctors. Wow. Because I would like to think that regardless of where I'm working, then I'm able to offer the same standard of care. So yes, in the public sector there may be some delays because of numbers, because of availability, etc. But the care, the protocols, what we're supposed to be doing really cannot be that different.
Right.
Okay. So learning and getting feedback has been very important.
Very good.
But I think a lot of what we spoke about are the causes of why a lot of patients present late.
For sure.
That we definitely need to address.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What an amazing, call to walk the way you're walking and to care the way you're caring. And your patients are so very blessed to have you. Please know
Blessed
that.
to have them.
Okay. This is critical, family. This is critical information, but we're going to dive even a little deeper into prevention and lifestyle when we return, okay? Because this guy is calling for a break and I just want to be obedient.
He's always calling
for a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The choices you make today shape your tomorrow.
Get ready for Relay for Life St. Lucia 2026. Once again, St. Lucia Cancer Society is bringing this community event to the VG Field on March 28, 2026 from 2 to 8 p.m. Gather your team, choose your team color and outfit, and come walk or run against cancer. Remember, it's not a race, but rather taking a stand against a disease that has affected every one of us. Cancer does not sleep, and neither do we. Join us for the first lap where we celebrate our survivors, the candlelight ceremony at dusk where we remember loved ones lost to cancer, and the closing ceremony where we pledge to continue to fight. Registration $15, $10 for students. Children under 5 walk for free. See you there. Call us at 452-1538 or 461-1538 or email us at stluciacancersociety@gmail.com for registration and details. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more information. The St. Lucia Cancer Society Relay for Life 2026.
No, I will not. Hi! We are back, man. This woman right here. We've already decided that we're going to have a part 2 because we're almost out of time and there's just so much that I really want you to glean from her. I need to glean from her as well. And we were talking during the break about diet. And my question to you, doctor, is what roles do you believe that diet play in overall cancer risk?
So I believe that, and I'm going to put it just broadly,
For sure.
and I'm sure that you will find a lot of people who can break it down and give you details that
For sure.
I'm not even sure make that much of a difference,
Gotcha.
but you know, that's different opinions.
Yes.
I believe that what you eat, so just generally, is who you are.
Come on.
Okay? And diet is one of those environmental factors that we know are associated with cancer risk. So as adults, 90% of our cancers are because of things that we've done, things we've been exposed to.
Okay.
So contrary to popular belief, only 10% are genetic. The other 90% you are probably associating with diet, exercise or lack thereof, tobacco, all of these other things. So while I don't think, and you know, the nutritionists that I speak with all the time agree with me, but like I said, it may be a bone of contention because
sure.
other persons will have the diet plan down to a science. But I believe there isn't one specific diet that is going to keep you cancer free.
Okay.
I think if we are being specific enough, it's avoiding preservatives, it's avoiding, where possible, as much as possible, dairy. Because dairy is known to be inflammatory, just generally. It doesn't mean that it increases your risk of cancer, but it causes a lot more inflammation in the body.
For sure.
The, of course, most often asked question or comment about sugar. Our bodies need glucose.
Yes.
Our cells all need glucose.
Yes.
So there's a certain requirement from our cells to have an intake of glucose.
Okay.
It's usually the excess additional sugars that are not good.
Yeah.
So while some persons have thought that the sugar that we consume is feeding that our bodies don't use,
For sure.
and the conversion to fats and the contribution to obesity. So obesity is more thought to be more of a cancer risk, as well as a risk for hypertension, diabetes, a lot of these chronic diseases.
Right.
But again, there is research and evidence for and against. So my advice to my patients, because that's one of the first questions that that I get asked, whether it's by patients who've already been diagnosed with cancer or persons who are like, so if I don't want to get cancer, what am I supposed to eat?
Right.
My answer
For sure.
So that's where our turmeric, our ginger, all of these things come in. Now, mind you, I don't know the dosage. I don't know how much you're supposed to take or not supposed to take, and the balance between the effect and the side effect. So we focus on boosting our immune system because that's the first line of defense. When our cells start becoming cancerous, the immune system usually can fight. And then we're talking about healthier lifestyles. So we're talking about your vegetables, we're talking about your fruits, we're talking about water instead of those sweet sugary beverages. Intermittent fasting has become something that I think there's a lot of evidence for just well-being, and including cancers and how that helps with the cells, regeneration, how the cells become more defensive and the cancer cells get killed. Again, that's a whole other show talking about that. So there is no, in my opinion, one recipe. But paying attention to what it is that we're eating, it becomes very difficult in a world that has become all about instantaneous. Nobody cooks a good meal anymore. And when we do, it's a special occasion as compared to what we grew up with, which is cook food all day long. So everything is about preserved, already prepared foods, and that I think has contributed a lot to our non-communicable diseases, cancer being one of those.
Your idea for stress and lifestyle as an impact for cancer, do you ascribe to, I guess, the lack of, or the more stress there is in the body, the more you've seen it prevalent to cancer? Or
definitely. I think for most patients who I've diagnosed with cancer, whichever kind of cancer, most persons would say there was a period in their lives that there was something very stressful. Now, whether that's anecdotal, whether that is, I don't know necessarily cause and effect. My personal opinion is that stress is almost like the icing on the cake. Again, I think because once we're stressed, not dealing with our mental health, it automatically fuels down, or funnels down rather, to our physical health. A lot of things happen to us when we're under stress. And it's almost an opportunity for our immune system to not function properly. So as I mentioned before, our immune system is that first line of defense, and if that line of defense falters or is faulty, then things happen. So what I say to my patients, the analogy, when things are going well, we're preparing our kids for school, everybody goes to bed on time, they pack their bags from the night before, you wake up on time, and everything goes smoothly. That's how our body functions in a normal situation. Fast forward to a day when nothing is going right, everything is in chaos, somebody forgets something at home, it's just accidents waiting to happen. Our body is like that. So there are optimal things that happen that keep everything in check. And then once that's not happening, whether it's a stressor, whether it's overexposure to something, everything becomes a bit chaotic, and all the things that are put in place to control, get rid of cancer cells, kill cancer cells, fix them, that just gets thrown out the window. So I think definitely stress, our management of stress, we are, whether it's self-induced or otherwise, in a very stressful environment now. That definitely needs to be addressed.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh.
He hadn't called for a break, so we're good. Yeah? All right, very good. So, Dr. Remy, when and where is this Relay for Life? Is that right? Relay
Yes,
for Life?
Relay for
All
Life.
right. And when, where, and what can we expect being a part of that initiative?
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
On the PG field, or as Midget Peer likes to remind me,
I
the
love
SAB playing field. Every time I said it, that's not the right name of the place. I'm like, okay, sorry. And it's from 2 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, so I know that a lot of persons have been asking, you know, can we register on the day at the site? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you can, but we'd like you to register before, but okay, fine. So if you are coming to register tomorrow, we'd like you to come a little earlier so that we can actually start on time. So we are hoping that for the 6 hours, or just about 6 hours, that we're able to pack everything that we would like to into that 6 hours. So we're hoping to start with an opening ceremony where all of our teams, registrants, survivors, our heroes of hope are all together. The usual pleasantries, introductions, welcome to begin. Our heroes of hope, who are our advocates, our symbols of what thrivers look like, will give brief testimonials, and then once we start, the first lap is always done by survivors. And so that's the celebratory part where we celebrate our survivors, and we're hoping that from that section that survivors will recognize that they're not in this alone. They will find other survivors who can uplift them. Those who have been shy to even talk about their journey will realize, hey, I can do this. And more importantly, for persons who are looking on to see what survivors look like and not the doom and gloom that we often associate. So after that, the teams will do their relay. It's not a race, it's really a commitment to walking. So you can decide from your team if one person is going to work 6 hours, if you're going to join, go in twos, you know, walk for half a second, but you've been part of it. And as night comes, you know, at dusk comes, we have our candlelight ceremony. At this point, it's about remembering persons that we've lost to cancer. So we're going to have a brief ceremony where we'll have a few performances. The lights will be dimmed. The luminaria bags, which are all dedicated in honor or in memory of our loved ones, or even just persons who are going through a journey of cancer. And then we close with the final lap where everybody commits to continuing the fight. So essentially, Relay for Life is celebrate, remember, and fight. So,
oh my God. I just wish we had more time. Dadgummit, man. Did you enjoy this evening? I know you did. I see you shaking your head. I see you bobbing your head. This woman is amazing. You are truly a breath of fresh air. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for carrying your daddy's little backpack as a little girl, man, knowing that this is what you wanted to do. Thank you for saying yes to the call. God bless you in everything that you do. I know I got to be patient and get on off here, right? But I just want to say this. Tonight's message is real simple. Do not wait. Do not wait for symptoms. Do not wait for fear. Do not wait for someday. Take charge of your health right now. I pray that you can get out tomorrow if you're definitely on the island. Get out tomorrow and just really commit to being a part of that change so that you too can be an agent of change. Linda, thank you so very much for allowing us to be here. We love you to the moon and the stars, woman. Thank you for dreaming so big, you and your family, that we get to tell stories just like this. Good night, Bun Bun, Caden, Kendrick, Uncle Idris, and my beautiful friend Fran. Good night, St. Lucia, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your tapestry. The Lord say the same and the creek don't rise. We're going to do this thing again called Talk to Tanya right here on this station at this time. Oh, there's a rebroadcast on Sunday, so please watch. God bless you. Good night.
Get ready for Relay for Life St. Lucia 2026. Once again, St. Lucia Cancer Society is bringing this community event to the VG Field on March 28, 2026 from 2 to 8 p.m. Gather your team, choose your team color and outfit, and come walk or run against cancer. Remember, it's not a race, but rather taking a stand against a disease that has affected every one of us. Cancer does not sleep, and neither do we. Join us for the first lap where we celebrate our survivors the candlelight ceremony at dusk, where we remember loved ones lost to cancer, and the closing ceremony, where we pledge to continue to fight. Registration $15, $10 for students. Children under 5 walk for free. See you there. Call us at 452-1538 or 461-1538, or email us at stluciacancersociety@gmail.com for registration and details. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more information. The St. Lucia Cancer Society Relay for Life 2026.
You remember my eyes. We were known to get them both.